Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Greenville where a man is now facing charges after police say he has broken into multiple rental cars in Greenville and even an ECU owned truck yesterday in an attempted theft. Dontarian Barnes faces 7 charges of breaking and entering a motor vehicle and 7 attempted larceny charges from Greenville police, along with another breaking and entering motor vehicle charge from ECU police. Warrants say the 18-year-old broke into 3 Hertz rental cars, 1 Enterprise rental car, and 3 other cars in Greenville to try to steal them. He also broke into an ECU-owned truck yesterday, according to warrants. Now, Barnes was taken to the Pitt County Jail on a $75,000 secured bond. And now we want to draw our attention, of course, to the incoming weekend storm. And Duke Energy is saying they are making preparations across the state. Spokesperson Caroline Fountain said the company is deploying over 18,000 crew members to the Carolinas in response to the storm, including damage assessors, tree trimmers, and line workers. Crews from 27 states, including Canada, will be brought in. Fountain says Duke Energy has around 20 staging sites, along with their usual crews that will be spread throughout the state. She said their main concern is the ice. Up to 6 inches of snow could bring down tree limbs that affect power lines, but only about 1/4 of an inch of ice could do the same and cause hazardous roads. Now, this week and last week, Fountain said Duke Energy has been proactive in pre-trimming trees before the storm. She urges customers to prepare by having emergency kits, medication, water, non-perishables, first aid, generators, and of course, do not hesitate to call for help over the weekend. Let's talk about that forecast. Of course, for eastern North Carolina, it continues to improve. Yesterday, it was looking more like an ice event, and as the area of low pressure that models continue to suggest is actually going to end up further north of us than we previously anticipated earlier this week, is going to change what was originally a snowfall forecast and then a freezing rain forecast. It's now looking more and more likely that we are going to be experiencing more of a rain event on Sunday versus a freezing rain event on Sunday. Now, it is important to note, just because Sunday from around 10 a.m. onward, we're looking again at air temperatures above freezing, Saturday night and Sunday morning will still be hazardous. They will still, again, warrant your attention. Crews are out there again pre-treating roads as we speak. We're looking again at a few raindrops coming down right now across eastern North Carolina. But today's rain is tied to an area of low pressure that once it clears the coast, that's when we get the big push of that colder air that we need to turn some of the current raindrops into potential snowflakes as we again head through the day, well, really head through the late afternoon, early evening coming up tomorrow. Let's take a look again at what we've got outside right now. Well, actually, we'll take our attention further back towards the area of low pressure. Right now looks very messy. We're actually tracking 2 areas of low pressure. One right now is kind of sitting right around El Paso, Texas. And then another one, again, still sitting back over the northern end of the Gulf of California. Now, that whole system, again, is going to be working its way eastward towards us, but it's not going to make a straight eastward pass. It's going to be more moving east-northeast, eventually putting that area of low pressure over Virginia. Right now, air temperatures sitting right around the 50-degree mark. We've got winds coming in out of the north, some areas northeast, but wind speeds today really haven't been all that concerning. 3 to 8 miles per hour right now, not much there. But let's talk about, again, the raindrops we're anticipating not only tonight, but we may again see a few coastal drops early tomorrow morning. That is not your main snow threat. We will see, again, an opportunity for some snowflakes to come down once we get into your Saturday evening. This is Saturday, 5 p.m. And you're probably looking at yourself like, oh, okay, here we go. This is the snow forecast we were hoping for. It is not going to last. It'll start out as snowflakes, but that snow line is going to continue to inch its way further and further northward, leaving us again with more of a sleet to freezing rain event by the time we wake up early Sunday morning. anticipating again air temperatures will be below freezing by this time on Sunday, but they won't stay there. We're going to be up at around 32 degrees by the time we reach around 10 a.m. on Sunday. Some areas may take a little bit longer, but the point is that all of this moisture you're seeing is going to be freezing on contact with the ground so long as those ground temperatures stay below 32 degrees. At this point in the day, it will be freezing outside, but it's not going to stay freezing. That is the issue. That's why, again, this is looking more and more like a cold rain event, because Sunday's highs are really going to be impacted by the track of that low pressure system you're seeing back towards Arizona. That is the system, again, we needed it to stay south of us if we were going to have a good shot at snow. Here's Saturday morning. Let's fast forward it into Sunday morning. You'll note that low inches its way further and further northward, robbing us of, again, some snowflakes. Or you could argue saving us from the ice that we were looking at yesterday. Now, we will still have ice accumulations out there by the time we wake up Sunday morning. I don't want to discredit that part of your forecast. You do need to pay attention to that. Saturday night into Sunday morning will not be good for driving. If you can avoid it, stay off of the roads during that time period. I think roads will gradually get better as we make our way through the day on Sunday, not just because, of course, DOT crews are likely going to be out there trying to, again, get everything back to normal, but also the rain showers coming down on Sunday. You look at all that moisture you're seeing further back towards the west. That, again, is all going to be working its way across the southeastern United States. And while, again, I know many of you would have wished that was coming down as snow, it's going to be coming down as raindrops, and those raindrops will help wash away some of that ice that could, again, linger into your Sunday morning after what we see on Saturday night. So here's a look at your full 8-day forecast, and I think this does a great job of kind of highlighting just that temperature problem that a lot of you snow lovers are kind of stuck on. Right now, 31 degrees for your high on Saturday. That's why, as that moisture rolls in on Saturday, we are likely looking again at more snow and possibly even some sleet mixed in as well. The warm nose of the ocean trying to work its way in. But then Sunday, we start out at 25 degrees. That's going to be your sunrise air temperature, mid-20s across the east. As you get closer to the water, upper 20s, low 30s, but below freezing at that point. And then through the day on Sunday, those air temperatures are going to climb to around 37, maybe 38 degrees. And that's going to happen by the time we get to around 2 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So looking again at hourly forecasts, that projects us again around a 10 a.m. 32-degree air temperature, maybe 11 a.m. for some. But again, the rain showers coming down through Sunday, specifically Sunday afternoon, will do more to wash the ice away and help melt the ice than to add more on top of the ice that we do accumulate Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, there could still be some slick spots, particularly up north towards Highway 64 and northward towards the Virginia line, and certainly we'll say I would say west of certainly Highway 17, possibly even west of Greenville, maybe even west of Farmville. On Monday morning, we could again still see some slick spots on the roads. But air temperatures on Monday back into the upper 30s, a little bit more sunshine. That will help again reduce any sort of lingering ice out there. By Wednesday, everything is gone. But I do also want to highlight it is going to be a very cold Monday night into Tuesday morning. Temperatures down at around 12 degrees. Of course, there's also been chatter on social media about the potential of next weekend being another opportunity for some snowflakes in eastern North Carolina. Right now, it is looking like, well, models are suggesting that. I don't want to discredit that. Models are pointing towards a potential for some more snowflakes in the east next weekend than possibly what we're going to see for this weekend. The problem is that we were looking at kind of that same solution earlier this week on Monday, thinking that, okay, this Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at a pretty nice snow event. Well, here it is. It has shifted more towards a cold rain and some ice and sleet mixed in as well. So next weekend, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but if you're itching for something to hang on to kind of pin those snow hopes on, we're not completely done with winter yet. There is another opportunity right around the corner that obviously we will be talking about as we head through this upcoming work week. But again, you should, Ryan Laughlin, you should get endorsements from grocery stores. Sales team is working on it, Ryan. Sales team is working on it. And again, we are all taking the bread and then Tamika Bazell taking the bread and milk and eggs all back to the store. That's good. If you can, again, return what you need to. Return what you need to. Hopefully you guys have kept your receipts. But again, for now, again, Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's the time period you really need to be worried about and paying attention to. Other than that, again, the rain on Sunday is going to do a great job of kind of helping the DOT get everything back to normal, especially in terms of road conditions. Now, we will have more news and weather right here on the First Alert Desk coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Friday, and if I don't see you at 4, have a wonderful and safe weekend.